You know, it's a funny feeling accidentally tapping your gym membership at the McDonald's drive-through, sitting there like, how'd I pull out that card? Of all cards. I didn't even know what card it was until I blew the dust off of it like Indiana Jones, man. Raiders of the Lost Carb type shit. And then realizing I had enough points anyways to get my meal for free really made me think, what am I genuinely doing? I hate the whole, it's 2026, it's time to blank, or the whole, in the big 26 mindset, which I guess was more of a 2025 thing. The big 25, how are you doing this in the big 2025? And although people who say that come from a place where they want their peers to improve, and I think that's great, making it about the specific year that we are in is an easy mode, gratuitous way to express the urgency of your plan for someone else's life. So how about this? Instead of, how are you still drinking in 2026? You just shut up.
I don't have a problem. I drink by myself to relax in a dark room and playing
Resident Evil. My bad. I'll address the problem directly. When you say someone's actions are inappropriate based on the calendar year, that invalidates the listener's personal life experience. It is much more of a social media issue. You'll see a video of some Brad in his car talking about some,
it's 2026 and you're still not on PEDS?
You see, he's pushing his own ideology that he built off of his own life experience, and all the power to him if that's what he deems necessary in his life right now. But it's just like, why can't you live that life just for yourself instead of trying to make everyone follow you like you're some sort of leader? I mean, the short and long answer is money. People recording themselves with the intention of receiving brand deals is kind of the new meta nowadays, But social media dilutes the understanding that you are broadcasting your mindset to the world. The danger is that you can influence people who are much more susceptible to altering what they think is right for themselves because of the urgency you base your plan on. It's 2026. You aren't bone smashing and doing meth for weight loss. You're lost. Lock in. What you don't know about this person on the other side of the screen is that they're a 28-year-old guy who still goes to the 21-year-old club. Time to graduate to the pub at least, man. Like, you go into the club alone and then hop on TikTok about some life advice. Now, of course, there is definitive good advice out there. Work out, eat well, right? Treat people well. But like, who needs to hear that? Like, We've all heard it, and the people that don't receive it by the time they're able to use a cellular device, I mean, I guess kids are using them nowadays. They have time to learn, how to treat people well, treat themselves well. But let's say you're like a 19-year-old consumer, you're a 20-something-year-old, 30-something-year-old consumer, and you need some help. That you don't need to hear like, go to the gym, eat healthy, because if you didn't know, I'm a balding fat guy, right? So listen, I'm balding and I'm obese. And I've heard this kind of advice just from these social media clips or, listening to health and mindset podcasts and stuff. Just as anybody has, especially as like a big guy. And if I mention to one of my peers or something like, yeah, I'm trying to lose weight and stuff, they're like, oh, yeah, man, lock in. It's like, no shit, man. And just so you know, I am. Like, as the viewer, you hear me. I don't want to sound pretentious or anything. Like, I'm avoiding good advice and avoiding being healthy. I had for a time. I enjoyed my Goyim life. Now it's time to, really hop on the... Holy shit, I got stuck in fire in that clip, dude. I'm so ass at Resident Evil. All right, all I'm trying to say is, I think trying to get people to change their habits is a slippery slope, depending on the person themselves and your approach. So... coming from a balding fat guy who has received his own advice from both professionals and loved ones and himself and books and all this stuff, this is just like my idea. I know it's slightly hypocritical because I am someone that is out here putting my mindset on the internet, but it's not really my goal here. I'm not trying to influence the masses. I'm not trying to influence the youth. I am just a dude. This channel's for my future child or some shit. I don't know. It's for future me even, This is just like my whole self as I go through the learning process of what works for me. So I mentioned in my last video that I had lost 100 pounds many moons ago, and since then I've gained it back. I'm lucky enough to know literally what works for me based on my own life experience, but in life you're going to do a lot of things for the first time. And if you are working on pushing the needle or pressing on the gas a little bit, I think it's just as important to focus on what you are not doing. Like Kanye West said, everything I'm not made me everything I am. Which is funny because when I gained my weight back, I literally said, damn, here we go again, come up at. So I've been on this second weight loss grind for a long time now. And although, I go to the gym Sure, yeah, I work out. Yay. You know what I'm not doing? I'm not going home and eating well. I'm stopping at the drive-thru on the way home. Oh yeah, I worked out. Time for pizza. Like that, like just repulsive activity. And if you need to click away or just, find me, here's my address and come beat my ass for that mindset. Don't go to the gym if you're going to eat like shit, man. So this past little while, I've been eating from home, and could be a bit better at the gym. I don't sweat as much as I should considering I'm getting fucking married this year. But what's important is that what I'm not doing is avoiding the gym, or what I'm not doing is eating slop. You want a goy min. You got a goy min. You heard of goy maxing? No? Okay, just me? Okay. I'm not going to come in here and define anything goy related to, protect my channel from being restricted due to the New World Order. But basically just trying to anti-slop my life, right? What we're trying to do here is we're trying to anti-slop our lives. Get this bullshit out of here. But what I said earlier, these advice channels, whatever it is, these advice creators, people that are mindset based, lock in, go to the gym. Yes, do all that good stuff. But also remember there's a time and place for everything. And also if you genuinely think that you have things under control and you want to enjoy a little bit of like you have a drinking night or something, or yeah, it's like, I'm going to order some Skip because I can. I'm going to order some Uber Eats because I've been good, or whatever you want as your own reward system. Just know that you reap what you sow, twin. You reap what you sow, twin. Eating out, eating bad, drinking, all that stuff costs so much money. That is a hard fact too. Like, regardless of if you think you deserve it because, you've been good and now you're with the boys, you got some drinks going, whatever it is, like, hell yeah, enjoy that, right? Just everything in moderation. I've realized that doing what I had deemed as hard is actually easier than avoiding it. So I am a Socratic thinker, right? So I think about the gut, the mind, and the soul as three different elements of our core being as a human life, right? Now, if you goy max, you got to research that. If you don't know goy max, I'm sorry for the folks that are blessed with not knowing what that means. I guess you're forced to now. Urban Dictionary that shit or something. When you're goy maxing, think of your body, mind, and soul like a trifecta, like a little pyramid, right? Your body's gonna be like, yo, this is lit. I'm messing with this, let's do this all the time. Let's keep going. I'm feeling so good right now. But then think about your soul. Think about your mind, what it's like doing, how you feel after, right? Like whether you feel shame or not, do like some trial and error, right? As a fat guy, you got to understand too, like food is a real addiction. So if you can pull yourself out of bad eating, some people you just, oh yeah, I was eating like shit this summer, but now I'm locked in, and it's like they never gained weight, for whatever reason, metabolism, they play sports, right? They've always had a decent balance that's kept them well. But as like a fat person, when you decide to take the jump into salad, like when you actually like eat something green for the first time in a while and try it out for like a week, holy crap, dude. So I just said holy crap, like can I stop please? Holy crap is crazy. Holy moly, man. Holy mackerel. So for me, when I stopped going to my local Tim Hortons on the way to work every day and getting a farmer's wrap with the donut and a coffee on the side, I realized by the time I got to work after being fasted, oh my God, I might have been a little hungry, but man, I felt better in my soul and mind. Because this new food out there, the fast food, is straight poison, man. Sure, my body was happy if I was eating some slop on the way to work. But man, by the time coffee break comes around, I'm sluggish. I feel like crap. So it's good so temporarily, right? And then my soul is just damaged because I'm like, what am I doing? I'm totally going against the idea I have for myself and my goals. Those times where I was eating slop on the way to work was not long ago. But since then, I've regimented myself around fasting in the morning. And if I'm desperately hungry, I have some hard-boiled eggs in my quick inventory, man. Just pop them out like I'm Leon, literally eating just white eggs. And I'm like, okay, good. I'm satiated. And it feels so much better, man, because you are staying more true to yourself. It's all about what you don't do. Everything I'm not made me everything I am. Say it with me. And everything I'm not made me everything I am. Put your hands in the air. Grab a lighter.
Everything I'm not made me everything I am.
Do 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 damn do 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 do. I'm gonna leave that in. So avoiding the poison on the way to work has been very goated for me, and it also relates to when I quit vaping a long time ago, or I'm almost on a year now without that, and that clearly increased my eating because my dopamine circuitry was just like, yo, where's the nicotine? I'm not used to my fentanyl, you know, like I need my good shit. So then it was just trying to make up for all the consumatory dopamine, if that's a real word, consumatory, all the dopamine I got from consumption with food, and that just further increased my weight problem and everything. So now it's time to just cut that off, right? So yeah, doing what's easy is actually harder on yourself. And doing what's harder is actually easier on yourself in the long run. Got to start thinking a bit more long term now, you know, getting married this year. And I want to be something when I'm older. And I also don't want to die at 55, you know? So maybe it's time I just stop consuming all this bullshit. But of course, who am I to say anything, man? Seriously. Just like I was saying before, there's so many creators that just put out life advice. But there is the definitives. Take care of yourself. Take care of number one. Just like my last video, which was also the first video on this channel, so this is the second. I felt like I had rambled a lot while talking about all this stuff. I'm kind of just doing it off the cuff. This one I scripted slightly, but then I've just been off the cuff for like the last half. So I hope I can make a title and a general like thesis on what I'm fucking saying here. But nonetheless, if you found yourself entertained, be sure to subscribe. Comment something that you are going through or some mindset stuff you're talking about. I don't want this to generally be a fully mindset-based channel because I do find that to be some sort of like self-help slop in a sense. But as humans, man, everything we go through is so intricate and so personal and can feel so big at times. I'm more than happy to just talk about it. And I only have my own life to base what I'm talking about on. So if there's anything that you want to share with me in the comments, I'm just a balding fat guy. So no judgment here. What can I really say? I'm just a balding fat guy. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate the support on the first episode. Did not expect to be met with so much positivity, especially in the current day and age where it seems like if you're not mogging or perfect, like what are you doing? That's also my saturated feed that I have been avoiding like the plague and have also felt good because everything I'm not, maybe everything I am. Yo, he cooking.